Hi, I'm John Rose. 18 years ago, I coached the Houston Rockets coach, Rudy Tomjanovich, Rudy T, when he had bladder cancer. The day he quit his job was the day he already had me lined up to save his life. I coached him for 5 months. What you're about to hear is part of an interview of Rudy T on the radio with me and some other people. Unfortunately, it's a partial interview. The tape cut off. I wasn't able to do the whole video, and I've been wanting to share this with you guys for a long time, and I still haven't been able to find a way to add the last part of that video, so I apologize in advance for only having a partial interview. But nonetheless, stay tuned, because I guarantee you're in for a treat.
That's great. That is wonderful. And this is in honor of Rudy, and we have some absolutely wonderful news. Welcome, Rudy. We are so happy to see you.
It's so good to be with you.
You look wonderful. You look like you've just been to the Bahamas or something.
I feel great, and it's interesting. Since I changed my diet, I've been getting comments like that for a long time, and it keeps me going. It really does.
Oh, I am truly saying, and other people have told me this is the first time I've seen you in a long time, and and from watching the newscast last May, which was so sad. I rarely watch television. I happened to just be watching television, and I didn't know that you would be stepping down as the head coach of the Rockets, and you are such a part of the community. We just love you so much, and it was a very difficult decision, but you made the right decision to focus on your health.
Absolutely, and in the last 6 months, I've learned so much. Well, first of all, I just have to thank the medical people who did a great job. Dr. Richard Goldfarb, who gave the treatments, and the treatments were not chemo or anything like that. It was a treatment where they put bacteria in your bladder, and your natural immune system fights off the bacteria, and it also fought off the cancer. And I really believe that those treatments did a great job. But I also did a lot of reading about nutrition, and then it's funny, you get into you get in with people who are into health and all that. I had a lady I was buying some health products from, and she recommended John Rose. And we walked by him over in Whole Foods, and she said, that's a guy you ought to talk to. So I went up and I talked to him, and he showed me his program. And he's got, he's very organized, and he's got a lot of different levels that you can do his diets on. And I have had in the past, I thought that I ate pretty good. I thought I wasn't 100% vegetarian, but I would go maybe 60% of the time, and actually went vegan for a couple months several years ago. But listening to John, I learned a lot about how the body cleanses itself, and how great raw foods are for you. And my body actually went through a transformation. I didn't know what was going on, and I brought it up to John. And I also I want to mention Georgette Sutman, who is the juice girl, and she made life very easy for me, because for a while I was trying to juice at home, and I didn't understand that you could make some juices and store them if they were airtight and all that stuff. So I would just make my juice fresh. But if you're going to drink 10 juices a day, you're going to constantly be just cleaning up. And I was driving Sophie, my wife, crazy at home. So the juice girl saved me, and she delivered juices to my house every day, and still does. But when I told them how I felt, at the beginning when I was going through this cleansing thing, I think the acid in my body was actually leaving through my extremities, through my fingertips and through my feet. And I says, God, this is funny, this is strange, and almost felt like I had the hives. And then once that went out, I just felt just tremendous
So you were detoxing.
Absolutely. And I not only felt healthier, I thought my thoughts were clearer. There wasn't that. I used to be a coffee guy in the morning because I was always foggy and all. I don't do any caffeine anymore.
Wow.
And all I can say is it's nothing like I thought it would be. I thought, I went on a couple juice fasts, 5-day, and then just a 3 or 4 day. And that's people who really fast, that's nothing. But for me, it was a big stride. And, I was just so surprised on how energized I feel. There was no weakness at all. And I wasn't even thinking about losing weight. The weight started just coming off. And I think I've lost, I can't tell you exactly how much I lost because I hated to get on a scale before. I was afraid to see, and I actually got down into the 230s, which I haven't been that weight since I was a player, and I'm probably somewhere in the mid 240s right now.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, I mean, you're just a walking billboard for this diet, because we always say that the live food diet is the best diet. And I wanted to bring in John Rose, who is a member of our collective and co-host today with us. And John, tell us how you met Rudy and.
Well, like Rudy said, we were both at a health food store, and this woman came up and introduced us, and he mentioned he wanted to find out more about raw food, and I said, well, that's what I do. And we spent a little bit of time that first day, and I showed him around the store and some of the food items he could choose. And then we met. I believe he had to go out of town for about a week, and we got back in town. We spent several hours the first visit, and now it's been 150 days later since that first visit. And again, he's diagnosed as cancer-free now.
So is your diet totally juice? Are you juicing, or have you?
Oh no, I wish I could say I've been perfect on this thing. I've had my slips, but not many. No, I will eat vegetarian. I will eat cooked foods, but I just judge on how I'm feeling sometimes, and if I feel a little sluggish, I say, well, I'm just going to stay raw here for a couple days. Right now, I'm drinking 7 juices a day that the juice girl provides, and I've even got my wife doing it a little bit, and she loves it. But then eating a lot of salads, and I was really on a strict diet with John, and the thing about Johnny was, he said, it's all up to you, Rudy. He said, I'm going to advise you, but it's up to you. I can't make you do this. And I really wanted to do it, I wanted to do it the right ways. So when I traveled, it was tough. I would call John and ask him about certain things. So I was in a vegan restaurant in Chicago, and I grabbed the menu, and I read the menu to John, and I said, this is a great place, all these wonderful variety of foods. And he says, Rudy, I wouldn't recommend any of those, because where I was at with that diet was in a cleanse, and they had some nuts in them, they had some fats at that time, and boy, was I disappointed. And but now I would the first day he took me around in that meeting, he showed me some of these different foods, like tahini and a couple of these olives, he said, and they were great. But he said, the diet that you want to get on right now, you can't have these. So finally, when I got the good news, I said, tell me what I can have. And I got those big old black olives. I don't know what you call them, but they're like jawbreakers. And I made a salad with the tahini, and I'm telling you, that is a treat. It really is a treat.
That Middle Eastern food is really good.
Yeah.
So in essence, John has become your coach.
Oh, definitely. He's my coach, and he's done a great job. That's the reason I'm here. What he does for people is so wonderful. It changed my life and opened my eyes to nutrition and how we are, and I want to keep this. I want to do it, this way the rest of my life. But, I think we're sort of culture brainwashes us to thinking a different way to eat. And everybody has their choice. Most people think I'm crazy. You know, they just say, you're on that weird diet, when I really think it's so fundamental and basic. And judging on how I feel, you know, I don't care what somebody else says. I know how I feel.
Well, you know, we're closest to the apes, and it's kind of an ape diet. And in a sense, you know, we're eating, you know, fruits and nuts and grains. But don't you think, John, it's kind of like a...
Well, you bet. We're almost identical to the primates, and it should be no surprise that we should eat a diet that's almost the same as theirs. In fact, all animals on this planet don't cook their food except us, and that's what we should be doing. We should stay away from the fire.
So basically, you were on a juice fast for how long?
Well, I didn't, you know, I think I just did a 5-day and a 3 or 4 day when it was just all juice, but I always mixed in salads. And the big gain in this thing is that I really started to appreciate fruits more. You know, it was just one of those things I just didn't do before. And now they're just the sweetness of fruits, and it's just a treat. And I've gone where John's taught me a lot of things about the organic stuff, and to eat things that have seeds, you know, that are natural, and it's been great, you know. And now I've met more people, and meeting Pat, this is going to open up a whole new thing here after tasting her great stuff.
Isn't it? I know people at the Raw Truth Cafe say they're really thrilled when you come in and you discover the Raw Truth Cafe. Isn't that a great place?
Yes, I have to mention the Raw Truth. The people there have been so good to me. The food is fantastic. They do a great job, and I can't wait to get back over there.
Well, you know, the black community is much more aware of health, you know, than our communities are. And there's the Raw Truth Cafe and also Naturally Yours Cafe, a restaurant on Alameda, and they're both excellent. But at Raw Truth, more things are raw, and they always have I think the best veggie burger. Have you tried?
I haven't had the veggie burger there yet.
Rudy, you don't know what you're in for. It's truly the best. I mean, we all just go in there and roll up our sleeves. It's one of those messy ones that looks like an old Princess hamburger, but it's veggie. No.
I'll try that the next time.
Yeah, cruelty free. So that's just really great. John, tell us, how did you start? How did you decide, or what program he would go on? And
well, since Rudy was diagnosed with cancer, we kind of used somewhat of a modified Gerson program, where he was, we wanted to pump as much good nutrition in him as we could, which meant a lot of green vegetable juices, and then a lot of green vegetarian foods, a lot of salads, mostly live foods. He did eat some cooked, but the less the better, and that's basically what he stuck with.
And you had dressing? Were you able to have dressing in your salad?
Well, my dressing for several months was flaxseed oil and apple cider vinegar, and that's all I did, basically.
Oh, whoa, that is pretty strict, yeah. Now, so you can't have olive oil when you're...
Well, it's best to stay away from all processed foods as much as we can, and olives are definitely processed. But what Max Gerson found with working with cancer patients is that they had a difficulty digesting fat. But we need fat in our diet daily, so that's where the flaxseed oil comes in. Also did some coconut oil, which is a very unique fat. It's the only fat that will actually go into the liver and be used as fuel.
Isn't it interesting, because it gets a bad rap? You know, people always say
the corn and the soy industry has, kind of lied about it, saying that they're trying to equate it to an animal fat. It's saturated, but it's not the same. It's a very good fat. It's probably the best fat out there.
Right.
Also, cancer patients have a hard time digesting animal protein. So for this period of time, we have to keep the fats out of the diet and the animal proteins, and put as much live food nutrition as we can.
Rudy, I'm just getting a message here that the lobby has lots of people to thank. This is our fundraising show. So, Chickpea, Renee, are you there? Are we in the lobby? Lobby Central? We're tuning in.
Hey, Renee just went to grab a phone. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here she is. Hold on.
Oh, great.
Hey, yeah, out here in the lobby, things are really exciting, and I definitely want to let listeners know that now is the time to call with so many great premiums available. But first, Janice, you've got really dedicated listeners. We've got a lot of people to thank already. I want to say thanks to Marilyn, who's given us a very generous pledge. She loves the Janice show. She loves what you do for the animals, and people are very thankful for that. Also, want to say thanks to Sad Rudin, and also want to say thanks to Linda. Linda's out in Katy, and she wanted to give a pledge to support Go Vegan, and also to thank the show and to make her pledge in the memory of Princess from Linda. That's Missy Babe. Also want to say thanks to Miss Clarissa. She loves the show. She also likes Democracy Now! So, people remember that when you listen to Go Vegan Texas, you can support just the station in general with your pledge. And finally, I want to say thanks to Dan. Dan is out in Pearland. And he wanted to note, Janice, that his work number, he works with the Chili Cook-Off. He wanted to note his phone number for you. So I've got a message for you from Dan.
Okay.
He picked up the Rainbow Green Book. And you might want to let people know some of the premiums that they can get when they call in at these different pledge levels.
I forgot to mention. Can I do that now, Renee?
That would be great, Janice. And you also want to make sure to give people the phone number. We've got lots of people here that want to eat some of that lunch that you guys brought in with you, but they also are here to take people's phone calls.
Well, that phone call is 713-526-5738. 526 JAM or KPFT or JAM KPFT, as Sean Bradley says. Here are our premiums. I apologize. You will love this one. Our audience will love this one. Rudy, have we told you about this? For $250, we will have Rudy, I believe, John, you got his permission to autograph a vegan basketball. It's good. When I called up I said, I want a real basketball. I don't want one of these rubber basketballs. But then I didn't realize what they were made of. And they said, well, the NBA balls are leather. And I went, oh, no, we can't have leather. Do you have anything between rubber and leather? And they said, well, we have this composite leather that's kind of a vinyl, but they do use it in high school. So it is still a very nice basketball. So you won't be. So for the $250 pledge, Rudy has been kind enough, I hope, to autograph a basketball in your name. So please call. I think we brought 20 basketballs in, so that would make $5,000. Then for $150, we will have a copy of Rainbow Green Life Food Cuisine. It's the newest book by Dr. Gabriel Cousins, who is John Rose's mentor. Do you want to say something about him, John? We're hoping to get him on the phone. He's in New York, and we've had difficulty reaching him.
You bet. And also we have his video, too. Don't forget the video.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Based on the book.
Exactly.
We have some copies at the $150 level.
Okay. You ready for Gabriel Cousins?
Is he here?
You ready to introduce him?
Well, is he? He's not with us.
They're holding up a sign, so no, go ahead and continue the pledges.
And our last pledge, we were only limited to 3 this year, so we kind of fudged. We have a choice in the $75 range. You can get the PETA package, which is the Meet Your Meat on either DVD or VHS. And some people have said that when they've seen this, it has turned them into instant vegetarians. It's all about the horrors of the factory farms and the way, the cattle and the calves and the pigs and poultry are raised and slaughtered in factory farms. It's just horrendous. And we talk about this a lot on our show. And the other part of the PETA package is a wonderful CD. It's called Veganism in a Nutshell, and it's just wonderful if you are just coming into the vegan movement, and it answers all your questions and how to answer those silly questions like, well, doesn't celery have feelings? And how do you feel about eating celery? So but in more serious questions too. So that is either in CD or cassette, and that's for $75. Or we slipped this one in because we were only supposed to have 3. But you can get, John, you want to mention what you can get?
Yes, I have a 93-minute instructional video that explains how to do all 9 of the programs I put together to help people get and stay healthy. And part of these programs are what I taught Rudy. So,
hey, Janice.
Yes.
Hey, we're like $1,000 away from our goal.
Wow.
Really?
We need people to start. We need people to call up right now and support Go Vegan Texas.
Wow, that would be wonderful. What is our goal, or do we say that on here?
Our goal is today. Hold on, I'm retarded. 1620.
Well, Gosh,
1620, and I'm
know.
eyeballing right here, and I'm saying, gosh, you know, we need people to call in right now and support Go Vegan Texas.
Okay.
Take advantage of some of these packs that we've got out here and give us a call.
Rudy is dying to autograph these vegan basketballs. So at the $250 pledge level, you will get a vegan basketball autograph by Rudy T.
By Rudy T?
Yes.
Cool.
And $150, a copy of Rainbow Green Life Food Cuisine by the newest book by Dr. Gabriel Cousins, and $75.
I saw that book last night. That's got like over 250 recipes in it, doesn't it?
Exactly. I'm glad you mentioned that, Stacey. It's wonderful. I mean, this is, when people talk about, vegan food, they don't realize how delicious it is. I mean, sometimes they think, it's just like the steamed rice or rice or beans or whatever, but it is so delicious, and that's the best way to get people to become vegan is to cook for them. And Stacey, want to tell them about that wonderful meal you all cooked for Kucinich?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that call. Yeah, we cooked a wonderful meal for Kucinich, for Dennis Kucinich when he was in town, and it was a vegan food. It was all vegan, and you could barely even tell that it was all vegan. Speaking of vegan, I'm out here eating these cookies those are from Pat Greer, aren't they?
Yes.
They're really, really delicious, and thank you very much for bringing them in.
Thanks, Stacey.
Well, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open phone lines, though. We really need people to call right now.
Dennis Kucinich said after that meal that you all prepare, that when and if he gets elected president, we all could do his inauguration dinner.
You're really making my head really big out here. And
we did a great job. You and Kevin White and Mike McGuire.
And Mike McGuire and Maria and everybody who was involved.
Maria was wonderful. She made this a raspberry dessert with fresh raspberries. It was so beautiful. And some sort of a chocolate cream custard that was vegan and raw. And it was so delicious. So please call 713-526-5738. And we have we're just so honored, Rudy, that you're with us and you took this time to be with us. And we've been at the games, at the Rocket games, and we've seen you on TV, and just to have you here at the studio. I have to say, you're the tallest person that ever came in this little studio. And first I was going, oh my gosh, I was going to have a hard time getting in, but you really look wonderful and healthy. I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be here with you.
You look radiant. So, John, tell us more about,
Well, I'm curious, is Cousins on the line with us?
It sounds like we still are having trouble reaching him.
No, okay.
He was in New York at a conference on the weekend, and I know he was catching a plane, but they told us he could be. I hope they had the right time, because we were told it would be 12:30 New York time.
I got a confirmation that the time was the right time. They understood the right time.
Okay.
3 more phone calls right now, and we could have a bingo.
Well, please call 713-526-5738, and Rudy is rooting for us. And we're all.
Hey, did you ever find out what the name of that Rudy that theme song was that you were looking for, Janice?
Well, Otis found it on the web. Was that it? That was it.
In fact, he let it go longer, and I didn't realize that they had some of those vocals in there afterward. They just played the introduction all the time over and over. So,
Rudy, you had everybody in the station scrounging for that song last night.
I know, we were all looking for it, because it was like, that would be so cool.
Man, Janice, there's a big like stack of basketballs out here in the lobby, and I'd hate to see them, go to everybody down here at the station that's a volunteer. I really like to see them go to people that are calling and want to get Rudy T to sign them.
Right. For $250, Rudy will autograph a basketball to you. I'm sure you have, sons, daughters, basketball players in your family, fans of the Rockets and of Rudy, and he's more than willing, and he's so wonderful to come here and support us at this fund drive, because we just really believe in what the mission of Pacifica is, that, the stories you hear, the news that's reported, you'll never hear anyplace else, and especially in this issue of animal rights, and there's no other Pacifica station in the country that has an animal rights program, and very, very few in the country. KPFK did 4 trial prototype shows, and hopefully that will go weekly. But at this time, KPFT is the only program, the only station in the Pacifica network that has an animal rights and a holistic health program. And we you don't know how good we feel when I see someone like Rudy and see how good this diet is, and how it brings you back to your state of health and wellness, because that's what your body wants to do. Your body, aims to be healthy.
It's
Janice, just the bad food choices that we make.
Right.